Okay. Hey, welcome. Is that working? Can you hear me?
You did it.
I did. Are you sure?
Yeah, it says live.
Well, I've had a lot of problems already. But see, I didn't have you here, 30 minutes before now to help me get this working. But
You could have told me. I've been awake. You called me and I was like, "Why are you
well, you
calling?"
did answer my text,
Like, "Are
so
you awake?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Well, I didn't get the text notification. I never heard it. So my phone's been weird lately. So I don't know what's happening.
yeah. Well, Android.
That's not why it's been weird. I accidentally changed the notification settings. So now the lady started talking to me. And I wanted to stop talking to me. I don't know how I did it.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that
Now
at
I'm
all.
getting notifications.
Hey, so let's see here. Max is probably not here because he's got a gig.
Cool. We get that.
Yep. Rosie says, I won't be able to catch the show live, but want to let you know I really enjoy and appreciate the content. Thank you and keep up the good work. Awesome.
Marcelo.
Yep. Hey, Zorp. Hey, Zorp. I guess it's Zorp. I think it's Zorp.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Go cool. Hello, everybody. Mary M's here.
Mary loves her Android. Thanks
Well,
for Mary.
I like mine too. I got one too. I have the same one. Well, I got a little bit newer one than Kristan, but it for the money, it's fantastic. So I guess I can say that.
I don't know. I don't know why you have a weird opinion. This is the best phone I've ever had.
Karthik, hello, hello. So what's going on? What are you reading now?
I mean, nothing that I have around me.
Well, that's okay. You can
Prepared
talk
me for
about
this question. I can tell you what I plan to read next, probably today. Probably gonna read Cosmic Detective by Matt Kinn and Jeff Lemire.
it.
The
Yeah.
Shiny Edges. You may have seen me show some of this before, but I like the art. Looks good. It's quite
So
thin, so
do that again. Let's see if I can bring you up. Maybe. I
can
don't
you?
know. Yeah, but what if I don't know how to do
Yeah, it's not that hard. Nope.
it? Yeah, apparently it is.
Okay. Well,
I don't see it. I don't see the option.
there's an option.
And where would it be?
Well, I don't know what you're looking at, so I can't tell you.
Hmm.
It's definitely there.
I do not see it.
It's one of the little squares.
Well, I'm looking at them. The first one is just me, right?
This
That's not
this is
it.
so like a Jess show right now. Like you're supposed to be
Well,
that
if you had got on here a half
go.
hour ago, we could have figured this stuff out. But
I mean, why didn't you tell me to be here a half hour ago? We're just gonna fight on air now. You
yeah,
should
that's
have told
okay.
me. I've been awake for over an hour.
Well, I did want to bother you. You didn't answer my text from last night, so I'm like,
From last night, I
yes.
was asleep.
Okay.
How am I answering your text in my sleep?
So that book you just had there, I can't get that yet, right?
Yeah, you can't. It's too bad for you. Or it's
So
not. I haven't read it. It could be garbage. Who knows? Who honestly knows?
right.
I don't think it's gonna be garbage, obviously, but I have that. What else? What else do I plan to read today? I have stacks around me. Oh, I do want to read this probably today. That's The High Desert. This is actually Reed's book. It's a memoir about this punk guy. It's black and white. The art looks really nice though. I like it.
Mhm.
So sounds like it's going to deal with intense subject matter, and I like that in a memoir. And it's blurred by a lot of cool people on the back, so that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So what is the light you're using right now there? Is that just your overhead light?
Yeah, it's the light in my room. It's
Is that
unseen.
a fan?
Is what a fan?
The light is the ceiling fan.
No, there's no fan in here. You've been in this room.
I can't remember what it was.
No, it's just a light.
How many bulbs?
One.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Okay, it's on the
'Cause
ceiling.
I've tried all kinds of shit and I can't get it to look near as good as that.
Okay, this is the room with like the slant ceiling.
Maybe that's helping, you think?
Maybe, I don't know. It's not as like close. Well, it's probably just as close as a regular light. It's in the middle.
Liam Lee says good morning. Good morning, all. I got something to show you, and I actually preloaded it. Well, I said I did. See if I can add it. I read the last Rick and Morty hardcover the other night. I finished it, volume 8, and it's got a lot of stuff by your buddy Kyle Starks in it, you know.
Right.
And have you heard about where he's in one of them?
No, I don't read them.
Huh? I know you don't read it. But anyway, you're gonna love it. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
All right. See if I can do this. Yeah. Okay. So on this page, I'll make it bigger here in a second. I think. Well, let's see. I think I got a way to do that. Yeah, that help any? No, not really. Okay, this is where they go to a dimension. He's not in this panel, but I want to show you this. This is a splash page where I think they're basically in our universe, right? Because this is a Rick and Morty convention that they're in. So Jerry's saying, why do they keep saying that? Because everybody's shouting, Pickle Rick, and that's Pickle Rick hanging from the ceiling, a big blow-up thing, right? Let me show you the next one here. So they're walking around this thing, right? And Jerry sees this big long line in front of where it says Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. He says, well, here, I got a bigger thing of it. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. That's better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me move us over so people can read that. There we go. So he's like, what's this line to see the creators? Okay. Hold on. What about these guys? Why don't they have a line? Let me move you back over. Okay. Yeah, just read that. Is that great?
I mean, you may want to read it out loud. It's weird if we sit here silently reading this.
Okay. Hey, what about these guys? Why don't they have a line? And then the guy standing in front of Kyle at the table there, he says, so you guys created Rick and Morty? And Kyle goes, no, we just make the comic. And that's Mark Ellerby, the artist. He says, but if you love the show, you'll really like the comic. And the guy goes, oh. And then they're both pissed. How great is that?
No, that's great. I've actually seen that image of Kyle. I think it's his avatar on like Instagram. I didn't know where it was from because I haven't read this, but yeah, that's really good. I like that. And also, I think that happens to Kyle in real cons.
Yeah, I think I've heard you talk about
it. And it's like, no, I do the comic. It's a Comic-Con.
Does that look just like him? I think it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good depiction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, got that already. That worked pretty good. At least the big panels did, right?
Mm-hmm. You can do that at least.
Yeah, got that done. And see, I did experiment with that without you because I wasn't sure you could do the screen shares in the free version, but apparently you can. Hello, Southpaw's here saying morning. So I got my schedule here too. I can give people a preview about what I have coming up. So the yellow stuff is stuff I've already completed and is actually uploaded. And so if anybody cares, they could see what I got planned and what's coming up. And it actually is already finished. And so I just finished reading that Pulp Process edition. You heard about that, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to do a review of that, and I'm going to bring Elmo back because he's read he's reading it now. He's going to finish reading it. And so I got a question mark because I don't know when we're going to do that, but at some point. So you don't have Darkroom, do you?
No.
You need to read that. It's really awesome.
Well, give it to me.
Well, I'll loan it to you if you'll actually read it. Like.
Well, it's tiny, so yeah, I can actually read
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it won't take long at all. So.
Also rude.
Well, I've loaned you a couple before, and they set in your read pile for like a long, long time.
Well, and I'm on multiple shows, unlike you, where I have to read things. So
You're a big star. I get it. You're a big YouTube star.
No, not quite, but sometimes they just, But that one's small, so I know I can read that quick.
Well, Southpaw says I ordered Darkroom after your review. Yeah, it's fantastic. It is so fun. There is no way you're not going to love it, Kristan. I mean, if you like Buffy, you're going to love that. There's no doubt.
I don't like Buffy. I love Buffy.
Well, yeah, then you're going to love this. You're going to, yeah.
Then you have to give it to me.
I will do that.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll loan it to you tomorrow. You can read it tomorrow.
Okay, I'm not going to read it at your house.
No, you don't have to. You don't, but you could. I mean, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst part about it. Is there's not enough of it. You need about 3 times that amount in one, I think.
Gotcha.
I know we could ask the chat if my volume level is too loud or if it matches yours or whatever.
Well, it's better now. Like I said.
Is it better? Okay.
I don't know what it is compared to mine, but.
Kristan has a lot of homework reading, Miriam says.
I do. That's what I call it. So I'm like, hey, I don't want to read this right now, but I have to read it. I'm such a I think you're not like this at all. We're totally different, but I'm very much a mood reader. Like I can't, have a whole pile and be like, I'm reading this on the first, this on the second, this on the I can't do that unless I have a show where I have to, and then it's like a struggle where it feels like homework reading because I don't want to read it right now. I want to read something else.
I can usually just read, most of the time, unless I stay up too late and don't start reading early enough. Then I want to fall asleep too quick.
What's not even partly because it's about like having a plan of books and being able to be like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's like, I can't. I have to be in the mood for certain books. So you don't get that struggle. Mary gets it. Mary's a mood reader. She gets it.
I guess not. Joe Cool wants to know if we watched the new LOTR. I have not, and I just keep seeing bad things about it, just over and over. Have you seen it, Joe? Do you like it?
I mean, I get maybe more interested in this, but I don't care. I'm like, I don't need
care either way.
Universe. No, I don't care.
Farhands here. Says, hi, Larry and Kristan. Nice to see you, beautiful people. Just check in and hit the like button, catching a football match. So we'll watch this later. Peace and love from Malaysia. Awesome. Thanks Farhan. Outlaw says, I'm excited for your thoughts on Once a Future when it's fantastic. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not a surprise. I don't feature negative books that I didn't like. I just don't do a review of, So it's a matter of how much did I like it. That's the only. Yeah. Ars Comics says, good morning. Morning. It's very early. I didn't want to collide with Omar's show again.
Why are you plugging a show again?
Well, I didn't say the name of it. So if you don't know, you're not going to.
They know.
Yeah. They're going to know. Yeah, they're all going to know. So have you watched She-Hulk yet at all?
No. Not one episode. Man.
I think there's 3 out now, and it's just so great.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I won't give anything away, but it really pisses me off when I keep reading these negative reviews and these people talking about it being woke and all this kind of stuff. It's nuts. Somebody, a comic fan who can watch that show, and that's their reaction, then they are just looking for shit to be mad about because there's no reason not to love this show.
Well, and as you know, the kind of people who would say something like that are the comic fans with problems, right? Like they're the ones.
Well, I'm not. I have had issues with some of the different swaps and things that they've done. I'm not happy with all of the changes they've ever made. But this one here, I don't even see any changes really, other than they changed her origin a little bit, slightly, and that was a little bit annoying. But other than that, I mean, it just looks. I haven't read a ton of She-Hulk, but I've read a lot of the John Byrne She-Hulk and other older She-Hulk comics, and this just looks like that to me. She acts like her. She breaks the fourth wall like she does in the comics. Um, I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect adaptation.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I plan to watch it. That's one I plan to watch. I don't know that I'll ever watch like Moon Knight. I don't know that I'll ever do that, but
well, I was really disappointed with that one.
yeah, that's what I hear. I keep hearing that like it started
But I'm
out.
such a huge Moon Knight fan of a very specific, the original Moon Knight that I probably can't be objective about that. Top Gun's here. Your brother, your internet brother is here, Kristan.
Yeah, don't call him that.
Just egging him on. Very best comic channel. Thanks, Taka. Kal-El, hello from Belgium. First time watching live. Love both your channel. Awesome.
Thank you.
Kristan just hit 300 subscribers.
Yep. Don't know how that happened.
Taka says Moon Knight was different, but it's fantastic as a standalone series. It probably is, but I cannot see it objectively. I just can't. At least I realize that I can't. I have a problem. You know what I mean? I'm so entrenched with the Bill Sienkiewicz series that
I don't think that's only the issue, though. I mean, I've heard from people who have read like just the Lemire series and other things, and they're just like, it's down, and it started.
So they can't win.
It just went downhill. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, maybe
there's too many versions of Moon Knight, so you just can't win with this.
Mm-hmm. You're disowned.
You're not even gonna. Zor says, I really enjoyed the last few videos on both your channels, guys. Thanks a lot. Keep up the great work. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Should I talk about what I have coming up?
Yeah. So I was about to ask you.
Yeah. I don't know what's going up because Reed has to make a thumbnail. that's all that it's hanging on because they're published or they're like private.
They're done.
Yeah, but we did. Let's see, our 5 favorite reads of the year so far.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little over the middle of the year, but we're gonna go ahead and call those and then come back at the end of the year see if any of those like stuck around. So we talk about 5 of our favorite reads.
Looks like Max is back again. Hey everyone. Hey Max. Hawkman says Moon Knight really doesn't go for the comics route at all, in my opinion. It's a completely new take. Yeah. I mean, they're taking elements from about, I guess, 3 or 4 different runs, it looks to me like. Because you've got the one with the white 3-piece suit. Is that from Lemire's, maybe?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I know that's in there at least. That's the only one I've read.
Yeah. So you're doing your top 5 so far.
Yeah, so that's gonna be soon, and then we recently had some out of town trips, as you know. We went to Nashville for a concert, and we went to Cincinnati for a concert. So we picked up some stuff, like Half Price Books and various places there that we're gonna show off to. So we have those 3 coming up.
We should try to figure out some kind of end of the year thing to do.
Yeah.
And maybe something we'll do like part 1 on one channel and part 2 on the other.
Sure. I'm into that.
Think about that. Okay. Figure that out.
You think about that.
I will.
Okay, good.
I'll map it out. I'll try to map it out.
Cool.
Maybe we'll do our top 20 reads of the year and do 10 on each channel.
Yeah, that's cool.
Could you do that many? Could you think of that many? I can think of that many easy.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. Okay. Usually it's a struggle to narrow down anything.
Yeah, so if we do 20, that should be easy.
Yeah. Right.
Relatively.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of mine you're not going to care about, though.
Well, that's okay. Somebody watching will. That's the beauty of such a wide range.
That's why, like, I would like to do some kind of video with you where we review something together that I want you to read that you would never read. Because usually when I think you can admit to the whole internet right now that when I'm like, hey, you should really read this, and you're resistant to it, and I
Yep.
eventually gift it to you. You read it and you love it. Every time I think it's happened.
That's happened most notably with probably blankets
Yeah.
and Essex County.
Very resistant to both of those because they were black and white. Yep.
Yep. Not a big fan of black and white. And blankets is probably one of my favorite OGNs of all time. As well as Essex County, but I think blankets might edge it out just a little bit for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, our someone we both know, but nobody here knows probably John Jones. I keep thinking, a guy I know from work, that blankets seems like would be an awesome uh, gateway drug maybe for John. So that's one thing I think might be interesting to do on the channel is bring people in that aren't comics fans. Maybe. I mean, I know that's sort of kind of old reader, new reader ish, but this is more like where they're just not comic people. Period. Right?
I say that's not quite the same. Also, stop
Yeah. And
plugging his channel.
yeah, sorry. And you force them. You know what I mean? You're like, read this, and then you have to come out here and talk about it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think I picked out blankets for him a long time ago and just never have made it happen. But
I don't have enough people in my life who would be interested in that. You know what I mean? Who would actually do it.
well, John likes to think of himself as a dirty hippie, so he's gonna and a guy of the arts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he can't say no. You know?
Yeah, he would be a good candidate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Farhan says, like to know Larry's thoughts on Miller's Ronin, my current read. If he has read it, I believe it came out in the 80s. What do you think? What went wrong with Miller's later stuff? He's kind of overrated for me. Yeah, I have read Ronin. I haven't read it in a long time. Have you read it, Kristan?
No.
Yeah, it came out, I think, late 80s, I want to say. Maybe mid. I have it. I don't have an oversized. I wish I did. But I have, I think, the comics. And yeah, I liked it a lot. And if you notice, if you've seen his work before that, that's kind of where he started changing and developing. Well, his style has never stopped changing. And so if you're a fan of one era of his work, you may hate the other eras because they're so different, you know. And Dark Knight is sort of the culmination of that weird change, you know. And I resisted reading Dark Knight for a long time because I just didn't like the art I seen from it, you know. And I still haven't read it, but I do have it now. I have the Absolute, and it's sitting there in my not read on my not read shelf, you know. But yeah, I like Ronan a lot. And I don't know. I think what went wrong with his later stuff, I guess he just went too far to me, you know, as far as, you know, he was never hyper realistic, but he was closer to realistic than he got later. I don't know. And he kind of got weirder too as he went along, you know. Kyle Elson, do you get a chance to read FF Full Circle by Alex Ross? The art is amazing. Stories are. I have it. I did buy it before it was sold out. Did you get that, Kristan?
No, I don't want that.
You don't want it?
No.
You're not a big Alex Ross person?
I'm actually not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like the art's amazing stories. All right. I'm not interested in that. Like I think we're kind of opposite. Well,
Mhm.
sort of in that realm, right? Because there's that question that everybody always asks, like, can you deal with a story that has bad writing? It's a bad story, but has amazing art, or the opposite. And I'm like, I'd much rather have some terrible art with a great story because I can't handle it the other way. Like if I'm not engaged and I'm not interested, like I don't care how beautiful your art is.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm just the opposite. If the art is really dreadful, I almost can't finish it, even if the story's great. And my favorite example that I keep going back to on that is Grant Morrison's X-Men run, New X-Men. It had great art by Frank Quietly throughout most of it, and then they had fill-in artists come in, and the worst one was that Igor Kordia guy. I mean, someone probably loves his art, but I do not. It's very sketchy and dirty looking, and just ugly to me. You know, the people look physically ugly, and it's really dirty looking. And just the total opposite of Frank Quietly's real fine lines, you know, and clean, right? And so it's like polar opposite. And so it's like, you know, you're going along and you're reading it, and somebody throws a bucket of cold water on your face. That's what it's like. It's so radically different. Oh,
I
it
gotta
just
say,
ruined.
I feel like that's more prominent in Big Two stuff though, where you're
Yeah,
gonna get like a great writer with like a bad artist. Because I'm thinking about like anything I have, I don't know that I've run into that much other than the old Dark Horse Buffy before the seasons.
yeah.
Had a lot of atrocious art.
Cliff Richards, I think, was the.
I don't know that I want to throw an artist under the bus. I don't know. But I
But
can't remember.
I've looked back at it now, and I think it looks better than it did when I read it back then. I don't know why. I think because I've grown to like different art styles now. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Well, and I'll have to go back and like remember what I'm even thinking of
Yeah.
because a lot of it like didn't bother me. It's just with those sort of things with show kind of comics, I want them to look like the real life people. It has
Right.
to, or else I'm
You
not
want
gonna
that?
understand
It's
what's
kind
even
of a
going.
requirement. Yeah.
Yeah, but also a lot of those stories weren't that great. So like they just kind of went hand in hand, right? Like they were just like
Yeah.
I can't even think of an
A
example
good
of
marriage of mediocre.
yeah, I can't even think of a good example of
Yeah.
like a really great writer with a bad
Uh,
artist
I
I've read
want
recently.
before I take this down, I wanted to mention that that Full Circle. It did. There was two versions. There was a slipcase hardcover and a regular. They are both sold out now, from what I understand. The slipcase was limited to 3,000 copies. The other was not. I don't know how many was in it, but when I bought it, the slipcase was gone, and I bought the hardcover from IST, and it's gone now. But it's a departure for him, at least to me, because I've not seen a ton of Alex Ross, but what I have seen and read, it's always painted, fully rendered, painted panels. But this one, he's doing line art. It's not painted, so it it's going to be something really interesting to see if you like Alex Ross, or maybe even if you don't, because going from a guy that does fully rendered paint to now he's doing line work. Let me see if we can get caught up here. Joe Cool says, read Martha Washington by Miller and Gibbons. I have not heard of that. Have you, Kristen?
I've heard of it, but haven't read it.
Okay. Hayden, not Panatera, is here. Hey, I hope you're doing well. We are. Thank you, Hayden. I appreciate Frank Miller's art more and more as I get older, especially Ronin. I think he changed his art to a reductionist fashion. Now I see a Steve Ditko influence throughout. Love the Daredevil art. Yeah. Yeah, I could probably see that. Outlaw says, any spooky recommendations for Halloween month? Thinking of Harrow County or Nailbiter. Yeah, and we got a new Harrow County hardcover about to come out. Did you know that?
Yeah, because it's the Tales of Harrow County.
Yeah. See, I was hoping I had a scoop for you, but I do not.
Yeah, unfortunately, I believe these are still very out of print, but
Yeah.
they came out with paperback omnis, so you can do it that
Can
way.
you read them online somewhere too, probably?
You can get on Hoopla if you have Hoopla access, for sure. As well as Nailbiter. I love Nailbiter. A lot of people have problems with that ending. I like the ending, so.
Well, I like Nailbiter.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Well, I like Harrow County a lot, and I'm going to get that Tales hardcover. It's going to be soon, right? I got it in my list, but I can't remember where.
Yeah, I can't remember the date. Nailbiter, though, those hardcovers are out of print. So, unless they've come back into print lately and I don't know about it, which is possible, there are 3 hardcovers. I read it on Hoopla, so.
I think I have. I can get a date for that one. Hold on one second.
But yeah, you should definitely pick both of those. I have
unless it gets pushed. Tales of Harrow County Library 1 is October 5th. But you probably should read that if you haven't read Harrow County. I mean,
no, you definitely shouldn't.
Yeah, why would you?
If they're smart, they'll come back out with those hardcovers around the same time.
Yeah.
They're probably not smart.
Hayden says, like Angel After the Fall, the story was mediocre and the characters look like blobs.
Oh, yeah. So bad. It's so
now,
bad.
if you want to see a great Angel rendition in comic books, you get John Byrne's Blood and Trenches.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if that's still in print, but it's fantastic.
Well, none of these are in print because they don't have the rights anymore. However,
but you can find it maybe.
Absolutely, yeah, you can find it secondhand easy. For instance, in Angel, I mean, is this Cordelia? Is it
kind of? And it almost looks like Cordelia's sort of maybe drunkish aunt in that way.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this. Look at this Angel. I don't know if it'll focus enough for you to tell, but it looks bad. Is what is the point? It looks bad. And I'm gonna keep these forever, and they're garbage. So good times.
Yeah, Zorp says Nailbiter is awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Another like not as talked about. I talk about it a lot. But horror book that I've loved recently, I'm gonna reread this year, is The Crossroads at Midnight. This is by Abby Howard. Cool like paperback here with a little, that's
Yeah,
neat.
little
Okay.
peephole.
Yeah, and these are all like short stories. I love her line work throughout
Yeah,
this.
that's
Like
fantastic.
it's beautiful, it's really sketchy, but they're all like really creepy
Well, the
short
shading,
stories.
it looks 3D. It's really
Yeah, it's
popping
really
out
well
there.
done. But they're all like really weird and really good. I think they're about five stories about just creepy things, and it's a good time.
Yeah, yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, Mary M says she still needs to read Nailbiter.
The whole run is on Hoopla, so absolutely, you should
Yeah.
totally read that this year. And if my dad would get a paperback, I do actually recommend this to you. I think you'd really like it. It's only on
Well,
paperback because it's a smaller publisher, and often they can't afford to do anything else. So
well, like I mentioned, I've mentioned this before. It always brings everybody down, but you can only read so many books in your life.
yeah, and so why do you have to be fancy and only read hardcovers? Don't you just want to read really good stories like this?
Okay,
Come on,
that's fair. That's fair.
don't be elitist and pretentious in your books. Just enjoy great stories.
Well, little preview. I actually made a video about that whole subject,
No one
and
wants to hear that.
well, it's called Life. Let's see, Life, Death, and Comic Books. And
Mm.
and I actually do all the math, and I show my work on the screen. So if someone wants to follow along and map their own life, death, and comic book,
Their own mortality
sorry, yes,
setting.
I can't remember when that's coming out, but I can look.
Here's the thing: you don't even know though. The actual math isn't accurate.
No, you don't. You do not know.
You don't know. So you just
September
want to
12th,
read.
that comes out.
You just want to read great stories while you're here, right?
Yeah.
And some of
Well,
these
I
great
think I
stories
think
don't have
that's
hardcovers.
the strange sort of thing we find ourselves in is, we have more content that is potentially great than we have time now. I don't
Right?
know if I don't think it was always that way, but it is now. It's that way with TV and with books.
Well, and I would miss out on a lot of my favorite comics of all time if I only read hardcovers. I would absolutely miss out.
Yeah.
Mary read Crossroads of Midnight after I recommended
Yep.
it and loved it. So
There you go.
there you go, Dad.
Winning hearts and minds.
You need it.
Yep. Yeah, you finally hit 300. I keep waiting for you to break it now. And, you know,
I mean, why are you bumming me out? Can't break it.
yeah, well, because people are going to hear this and they're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to sub her channel. I'm going to
I mean,
break 300.
maybe y'all should.
Yeah. So anybody watching that has not subbed to Kristan's channel, you need to do that. And the link is in the description. And yeah, down there in the doobly doo. And you could be the 301st subscriber to her channel if you hurry.
If you hurry. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie.
Uh-oh.
Kristen's already missed out on so much great content because she's too busy watching reality shows. It's true.
Yeah, she needs
True.
to cut that down. Cut that stuff down.
I'm watching Nailed It, which you and Mom would love. P.S. Like you would love it. That would be so your jam.
Oh my God! You know what we've been watching is Solar Opposites. Have you heard of this thing?
No.
Oh my God! It's animated. It's on Hulu. It's by Justin Roiland, and it is so over the top and obscene. It makes Rick and Morty look G-rated. I ain't kidding you. It is. It's real. It's borderline disgusting at times, but it's really funny. Sort says, I'm finally reading Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. I love those absolute editions. Yeah, I got them. Got them sitting right there, and they're in the order. Haven't got to them yet, but Mary M says I'm making it to 100, so it's soft covers, hard covers, and digital for me.
Yeah.
She's get them all.
Yeah. Nice. I love that.
Maddie's back.
Took us to move next door to me. We make a new channel, get thousands of subscribers done. You know what? I think people would watch that.
Yeah, we would watch it for sure.
Yeah. I know. There's so many new shows out. She-Hulk. My dad was talking about She-Hulk earlier. I know I need to watch
So
it.
great. She's talking about so many new shows out. I don't know if very many people watching this know about the Mandela effect. It's something I like to do a deep dive on YouTube, and you can get lost in the some of them are just stupid Mandela effects, But there's a Mandela effect about the fact that there's so many TV shows, and it goes something like this: they say there's no possible way that there are that many studios producing this much content as we have now. So some of it has to be some sort of leakage from other realms and or AI produced. Yeah. Yeah, that's
There are
actually a
enough
thing.
people in the universe now that this makes sense, actually.
Well, I think it's people talking about Mastermind says if we're talking about cartoons, watch Infinity Train.
I
I've
keep
not heard
hearing
about
that.
that. Do you hear
Keep
about that
saying
one?
it, yeah.
Outlaw says haven't thought to get the absolute Swamp Things because of the recoloring. See, I know that's a big thing, but I don't mind it. Part of it might be because I don't have that many of the old books. I have a couple, and I've never read all of it in the original form. But when I look at the new coloring and I look at the old, I see stuff about each one that I like better than the other one. But neither one of them like pisses me off or anything. I don't know. Yes, it's almost as bad as those. I don't think it's quite to that level of lunacy, but it's close.
Yeah.
Maddie says it sounds like a crazy QAnon conspiracy. Yes. Yeah, I love it too. I haven't started reading it, but I've looked through it, and I'm fine with the recoloring. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
Cover has a nice face feel. I know about
it
that.
really does. I'm hoping that over time it won't collect pet dander and dust, though.
Absolutely will.
That could be a real problem.
It'll be just like those Hellboy library editions that are
Oh, those are
fuzzy.
the worst.
Yeah.
I have one of those that I got in that Amazon glitch sale from, I don't know, was that like 8 or 9 years ago?
Yeah.
I had that glitch sale, and I got it for like $10 or something. I think it's volume 3 or 4. So then I had to go get trades of all the previous material when I read it because I could, So yeah, if you look on my shelf now, you'd probably go nuts, Kristan, because my Hellboys are like,
I mean,
it's a mess.
I'm just like, I'm actually against the library editions because they're so fuzzy and collect so much like dust and stuff. It's
You
like,
mean
why
on
do this?
Hellboy specifically?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Hellboy specifically because it's black. It's like, why do that to yourself? It's
Yeah.
gonna look bad.
Outlaw says another fantastic cartoon out, Primal. So awesome about a caveman and a dino, no talking, but still managed to tell a great story and brutal action.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, that Solar Opposites. So, Kristan, it's about. I'll give you a brief on it. It's this family of aliens, right, that escaped their planet, which had an asteroid hit it, and them and like 100 other ships got sent out to go to different worlds to like terraform them into their old planet. And they crash land on Earth because they're supposed to go to planets that aren't inhabited, but they land on Earth, they crash, and they're stuck here because their ship is screwed up. It's actually stuck in the top of their house that they live in. And it's almost like in on Family Guy, you know how that Cleveland Brown's house is always wrecked and he falls through on the toilet.
I mean, I
You
don't
know
know that,
sequence?
but okay.
Yeah, well, it reminds me of that. But the ship is stuck in the top of the house, and so they buy that house because they have all this high tech equipment. They can make money easily, so they buy the house. They live there, and the ship is stuck in the top of the roof, and they just leave it there, and they're working on it slowly, trying to rebuild it. But of course, they're wacky as hell, and it's two aliens, and they're like I guess they're. It took me a while to determine if they were a couple, but they are. They're husband and husband, and then they've got 2 kids. They call the kids replicants, But anyway, yeah, it's hilarious. But man, it is just really, it's obscene. Absolutely obscene. The language and the themes in it, but it's really funny.
Okay.
It's like Rick and Morty lunacy, but amped up past 10. And they reference the fact that they're on Hulu all the time too. It's funny as hell. That's a running gag, is they mention Hulu a lot.
Okay, maybe I'll check it out someday.
Yeah.
I have too many shows to
Well,
watch.
they're just little 23-minute show. They're half-hour shows. But apparently, it's been on for a few years, and we just now discovered it somehow. But it's like I think 3 seasons are out.
Well, that's always fun though, because now you have a lot of
Yeah,
content.
yeah. So we're burning through them.
Mhm.
I don't think Dan Harmon's involved in this one. It's just Justin Roiland and another guy, a different name I haven't heard of, Mark McCann or something like that.
Did you hear there's actually, speaking of, going to be a Community movie? Like it's for sure happening.
It's going to happen? No, I did not.
Yeah, that's
That
the
sounds
last
awesome.
I heard. It was for sure happening.
Cool. Kyle says the Swamp Thing Absolutes are some of the most beautiful books in my collection. I kept my standard hardcover so I could choose between coloring if I want to reread. See, there you go. Just double dip that shit.
Just own it all.
Just
Love that.
double dip it. So you haven't read any of the old Swamp Thing, have you?
No.
You've read what, Lemire's or something?
No, Lemire didn't do Swamp Thing. He did
Okay,
Animal.
my fault. Who is it? It's somebody newer though, right?
Yeah, I have it right here. It was Scott Snyder. So I've read the Scott Snyder Swamp Thing. This is a beast of a book.
Man, that is thick.
Yeah, it's really thick. I read it all though. I actually really liked it. So I'm interested to go back. Reed has the first Absolute Swamp Thing, so I'll probably borrow that at some point. But I really like this. I like the art in it too.
Yeah, is that hopelessly out of print or?
I don't know. I haven't checked lately, but you should look into it. You should get this with Lemire's Animal Man, which I know is out of print. So I wouldn't be surprised if this may be too. But
was that an Omni or an Absolute? That was an Omni, wasn't it?
It's an Omni, yeah.
But it looked like it didn't have a slipcover.
No, it did.
Oh, it did. It looked like one of those baked ons for a second.
You gonna grab it again?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Yeah, this is a slipcover. Let me take it off.
Oh, okay. It did. I don't know why, but it looked like it wasn't.
Yeah, it's a slipcover.
There you
go. But this really it crosses over with Lemire's Animal Man. And they're both from like the New 52 era, I believe. And yeah, I think you would like both of them actually.
Karthik says 6 seasons and a movie.
Forever, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to read this. I think you would really like this too.
Yeah, I remember you reviewing that.
Yeah.
Outlaw says Charles Soule wrote the second half of that Omni, but only Snyder's on the cover. Right. Oh wow, they really screwed that guy then, didn't they?
Right, I forgot. I even forgot that. I was like, oh yeah, Scott Snyder. Yeah, I forgot the second half is totally, and it's like a half of it too. Like I don't even think.
Man, I wonder why they screwed him on the cover.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Maddie says Lemire's Animal Man is perfect.
It's so good. Yeah, Maddie and I read it together.
Carly says new 52 Swamp Thing is available. Okay, you gonna get that, Chris?
That's the one I showed.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah. He's saying.
See, I don't know a lot of DC stuff.
Well, I don't either, but
yeah. Kyle says also the latest Swamp Thing run by Ram V just ended in singles. It was the best run since More, in my opinion.
I keep hearing that. Yeah. I want to check it out.
So you're coming in the morning for French toast.
Yeah.
and Darkroom.
Yeah, that's
French toast and Darkroom.
And Sunshine. I want to see Sunshine.
And Sunshine the cat. Oh, we should talk about that. I did that video with Sunshine in it. And it was kind of it wasn't really clickbait because she was in it.
Right.
But looking at the analytics, I don't know if you ever look in your YouTube analytics.
No.
That video really shows the power of a cat, on YouTube. Well, on any social media, probably, I guess. But man, because my CTR on that one, which is click-through rate, right, was like probably 5 times what I normally average. Okay. But the view time on it was actually lower. And so when you have something like that happen, I guess YouTube assumes it's clickbait. So when you hover over that analytic, it gives you a little warning and it says, well, your click-through rate is through the roof and is really higher, much higher than average, but people aren't staying with your channel. Aren't staying with the video when they click it. So you might want to, how they put it, make sure that your thumbnail is accurate and that your titling is going to give people what they expect to get. So they actually give you this little stern kind of verbal, this text warning. And I'm like, but mine actually was accurate. I said, and a little sunshine, and that's what you got,
Yeah, that's funny. Well, and I've never clicked your video faster either, so I get it.
See, there you go. So Outlaw says Ram V is a hot commodity these days. I've seen the name. I don't think I've ever read anything he's ever done, but
I read like one thing. I can't remember the name of it now. Oh, these Savage Shores I've read, which people love.
do we get the French Toast Live show? Man, that's tempting. That
Yeah. That sounds good.
have to get your mom to like shoot it or something. Well, I got a tripod though, and we have wireless mics now, so
You're really thinking about it, aren't you?
no,
Like
probably
we can't
not.
hang out without content.
Yeah. Garthik says, Kyle, yes, my second trade razor. Okay, they're talking. Maddie says, bring the local donuts to your dad's house too and enjoy them for me.
If
Hey,
only my dad
French
would
toast.
donuts.
My French toast is way better than donuts, though, right?
It's really good, but those local donuts
You don't
are
know if you go that far.
yeah.
Here you go, Kristan.
Mini the Supply Star, give it a shot. Or oh yeah, I've read that. I forgot I read that. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I get the deluxe, Kristan? Is that something I should get?
I think you'll like it. I don't feel the need to own it personally. So I liked it, don't feel the need to own it. That's your call. Okay. I would recommend other things before that for you.
Was she talking about the donuts?
Yeah, the donuts, yeah. I mean, they're the best. They're the best. It's true.
But which ones did you get specifically?
I mean, I can't tell you the location, but
okay.
It is here in
town. An undisclosed location.
Right? Yeah, it's here in town. Yeah. I've told you about them before.
Probably not. I mean, I make sure that there's no visible egg. I know some people like a visible egg, but to me, if you've got visible egg on the French toast,
it's too much.
Yeah. I don't want to be eating that.
Yeah.
In fact, if I don't use real eggs, if I think ahead and I'll get the what do you call that, Kristan?
The egg beaters.
Yeah, I'll get that. So then there's not going to be any egg showing in there. It's going to be.
Yeah. Then you don't have to worry about shells and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever had that problem.
Well, just in case.
Yeah.
You just pour it.
Right. Just pour it. And sometimes I get kind of fancy and I want to put the, a little powdered sugar on the plate, a little drizzle of syrup on the plate first and some cinnamon.
Yeah.
And then you put the French toast down and then you put butter and a little syrup, a little powdered sugar on that.
Absolutely.
Of course, we're not using real sugar now. We're trying to do it low carb. So.
And that's why my dad won't eat the donuts.
Yeah. So what am I using? I don't even know what it is. Your mom's got it. It's like monk fruit or some shit.
I think it's monk fruit, powdered sugar. And then the bread. I mean, low carb bread's so easy to find now, so we always use that anyway.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a low carb version of it, but yeah.
And the sugar-free syrup we have is really good too.
Yeah. The only thing that is lacking at all, in my opinion, doing it low carb versus regular is the big Texas toast bread that I used to use when I did it high carb. That shit's pretty good,
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. So you just have to have more pieces, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any Halloween reading plans, Dad? Are you gonna curb your October videos to be spoopy?
I hadn't thought about that. I probably should though, right?
You probably should, yeah. You have to change your FIFO or whatever.
Just a little bit. I mean, I'm actually overdue to start on Swamp Things. But the reason I went out of order and started on other stuff was because DC announced Absolute Swamp Thing, the Lynn Wein stuff that came before Alan Moore, which I have a Bronze Age omnibus that has all that in it. And now I'm thinking of double dipping and getting the absolutes of those. So I've been trying to wait for the absolute to come out. And so I've been reading a few things out of order in my FIFO, first in, first out, in order to do. So yeah, I probably, after I get, right now I'm reading Electra by Miller and Sienkiewicz, and it's great. But maybe when I get done with that, I need to go ahead and get into Swamp Thing, and that way I'll have it read in time to do a video for October.
I think it's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, I might do that.
Maddie, as far as planned Halloween readings, we definitely, I feel like we had some ideas Maddie and I did for our show. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking around and I'm like, Kurosaki Corpse Delivery Service, which Maddie and I read forever ago, they finally came out with a volume 5, like after a lot of years. So I think we're both going to dive back into that and read that at some point in October, I believe. Right, Maddie? So that'll be really
That
exciting.
looks interesting. I don't know if I'd like it. I don't know if it's too anime for me or not, or too manga for me.
I mean, were you able to like read, like was your brain able to flip when you read that Ito book I gave you?
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with the
Yeah, see, it's not hard. I feel like
following
once
it.
you do it for like a few pages,
I
like
just don't like a lot of the manga art. Now I do like
you
Ito's
like
art.
Ito, yeah. So maybe you should read another Ito book. I could recommend. I mean, you should really read Uzumaki because everybody adores it, and there's a reason. And that's a
Okay.
nice chunky hardcover.
Oh, it is.
It is, and it'll give you a nice, interesting, different situation on your channel. I think that people maybe
You had
enjoy.
me at hardcover, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I could show it to you. It's well, you want me to grab it
You
real
could
quick?
give it to me. What?
I mean, I can let you borrow it. You gonna borrow it? You're not gonna keep it. What do you mean? I think that's very in print, though. I think it's an evergreen book because people love it.
Okay, so I could borrow it and read it, and if I wanted, I could buy it. I guess.
Yeah, that's what you should do instead of buying all these books anyway. So, you want me to bring
Yeah.
that tomorrow? You want to trade?
Okay. All right.
You could say no. Read it. Yeah, read Monster. Yeah.
That's a big O investment time wise, though, isn't it?
It's only
Something
like
like
it's 9 volumes.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
You're you laughing. I mean, those absolutes have a lot of issues in it. The volumes are essentially like just a few issues in it. You know, that's not that crazy.
Okay.
Also, it's quick to read. Yeah, Monster's phenomenal. Monster's my favorite manga of all time. So, for sure.
Nice. Not really. It really goes fast.
It really does. Yeah. You should. You know what? You would love Monster. I think Monster's a great one.
I think a lot of the manga that I've seen that I don't like is just where I don't care for the art. It's like really weird looking faces with like huge eyes and stuff. You know.
I showed you Urasawa art before, right? Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop my camera. I'm gonna grab it real quick.
Okay. He says I can read it in a day, which means a normal person can read it in a week. Yeah, I think I'm a quick reader, but I'm not anywhere near the speed you're reading at. You know. Kristan has left the building. She's coming back.
I have not left the building. Okay. So Monster. I just grabbed the first volume I can grab. I mean, look at this art. It's great art.
Yeah, that looks kind of good.
It's
If I could figure out how to make you bigger, I would.
I know. Well, let me try to. You would like it. I promise. It's great art.
I keep thinking I should be able to do this, but
Yeah, you should. It's literally an option.
I've clicked all of them, and
you haven't clicked all of them. There's one of those squares that makes me bigger. I promise.
The last two don't do anything for me. The last two.
Maybe you should send me a screenshot. I can help you. Well, anyway.
Found it. Go back. It wasn't in the little ones. It was in the big ones.
Okay. I don't know what you're looking at. I just said it was a square. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me another page.
Give you another page. Okay.
We want the manga publishers to come after us like they did a certain person. I won't say his name again.
It'll be fine. Nobody cares. I'm not showing you the whole book. I'm not overreading this.
Yeah. It does look good.
Yeah, it's great. Amazing.
It doesn't look like as good as Ito.
Okay, well, here's Ito. Here's Uzumaki. Okay.
Yeah.
A little chunky hardcover for you. This is the one about the spirals you may have heard about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll love it. It's great. That's great.
Oh, wow. Look at that. What's going on?
Yeah, you want to know? You want to know now, right?
How much is that?
The cover is $28. So you can
So that'll be like nothing discounted.
Exactly.
Practically.
Come on.
Yeah, I know your mom's watching this thinking, I love how he throws money around. Oh, that's nothing.
Well, compared to your absolutes and stuff, it is nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Looks like Maddie's taking off.
Have a good time. You're going to Buc-ee's? That's exciting.
What
We
is
went
that?
to, oh, okay. Sorry, Reed walked in.
Oh.
Maddie said she's going to Buc-ee's.
So what is Buc-ee's? Tell us about Buc-ee's.
It's like this. Well, if it's the same place that Reed and I are thinking of, there's one like in the middle of Tennessee or something that we stopped at, and it's like it's truly, it reminds me of Boomland when I was a kid, right? Except that like bigger, even bigger. They have like those roasted nuts everywhere. There's like a million. Did you hear that?
Huh.
He said slow cooked pulled pork. I mean, they make their own jerky. Like it's just like one of those rest stops, but like a huge
Oh
like
yeah.
circus of a place. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Did you hear that? No, he can't hear you, Reed. Stop talking.
200 gas pumps.
200
Gas pumps.
gas pumps.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Yeah. It's like huge. Probably not 200. He's
Oh,
exaggerating.
so it's like a big multiplex of gas pumps.
It's a huge place. There may actually be 200 because there's always like a million people there, from what I can tell.
Kyle says, "Is Ice Cream Man a spooky read? Maybe not for Halloween, but pretty scary at times."
Okay, I don't Reed. Stop. People are trying to talk. What are you doing? He's dancing. It's confusing me. Ice Cream Man is spooky read. Absolutely. Maybe not for Halloween. Absolutely for Halloween. No, it is a spooky read.
So who did that? Is that another manga thing?
No, that's an image book.
Okay.
It's like full of short stories, and they're all creepy, and they connect. I think you would like it. It's very weird and interesting. They just came out with the hardcover, deluxe hardcover.
Yeah, Max likes it a lot. He loves it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay. I might have to look into that too. You know, let's see. Once and Future is kind of a good Halloween read too.
I mean, I wouldn't call that a spooky read, but
It's got some. It's got
there's
some
spooky
creepy horror elements.
Yeah, but it's not like a horror book.
It's kind of horror-ish.
Adjacent, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's more horrorish to somebody that's already into Arthurian legend as him as the hero, you know. And now with it being so flipped like it is, you know, it's kind of it's really jarring and creepy for somebody who's already into that, you know. I think.
Sure. Okay.
I thought it was. It creeped me out, you know, when I read it.
Of course, a great that we both love because I told you need to read it as something is killing the children. See, every time I've had a recommendation, you've ended up loving it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't think of where one has failed, really. Can you think of where one has been like,
No,
nah?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think so.
Same.
I mean, I'm still not in love with Lemire's art overall.
But you're never going to be. But you love the stories.
Well, I mean, there's been individual panels, pages, and a few covers that he did that were like, wow, that I was wowed by, you know. But
I mean, you loved Royal City.
Yep.
You've loved Frog Catchers. You loved everything. I've been like, you got to read this, you know.
Well, Outlaw says it's so awesome, and there's an image deluxe for Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah. Did you say it was anthology? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like issue by issue stories, pretty much. Sometimes they connect, you know, and it all has to do with like the Ice Cream Man is the main character, and it's creepy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably like that if I like the art. Yeah.
I think you like the art. I think you like the stories. It is very like I feel like it's kind of Twilight Zoney in the sense of the anthology.
Well, you got me.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, your mom's texting me over here. Well, it's from earlier, but Kristan's lighting is much better.
Thank you, Mom.
Do you have that webcam set for 720 or 1080?
I don't know.
I know this is only 720 with the free version StreamYard, but so I kind of wonder if that might have something to do with the contrast being better because we almost have the same webcam here. Yeah, mine's actually the next model, but
I gotta tell you, I don't mess with those settings, so I just come on here. I don't mess around with those.
I see.
So, do you have to go? Because I have to go eat.
Yeah, we've been on them almost an hour. Another 15 seconds will be an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we kept up with the chat. We had a lot of chat activity. So that was cool. Appreciate everybody being here.
Thank you for being here.
Yep. And we're definitely going to figure out something to do together for the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And can I get you to do this next month, Saturday? Can I get your commitment on air?
I mean, yeah, just tell me to set. As long as it's not messing with my other show, then yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the first Saturday of every month when I do it. So I'll have
Okay.
to figure out what that date is for you. But
I think it's the 1st, October 1st.
so should that work? You don't know.
Let's see. Every other, yeah.
Okay, cool. I try to strategically dodge everything for you.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I have to.
Commitments.
Okay, Zorp's thanking us.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Gra boom. I'm not going to try that one. Rodimus Prime. It's Rodimus Prime Rib.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we're about done now, but you can watch it on the replay if you want. And appreciate you coming in. And we're going to go.
Thanks, Mayor. We're going to enjoy that
Yeah, we
French
will.
toast for sure.
Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.